USB ports are such that I can't plug in my little mic and my little camera at the same time. And I prefer to use my little camera. So let's just see if this will work. It has in the past. And I know there's a big fancy camera right next to me, but unfortunately I can't record a video of that camera. So that's why we're using this one. If it works. It does work. Okay, amazing. And I brought my little pencil case. I just hope this will be recorded on the video. So I have to stay by the mic. No. Okay, what's my fancy pen? Good. I'll stay by the laptop so I won't have to shout. Okay, excellent. Right. So, we need to talk about two-dimensional arrays. But before we do that, let's just quickly talk about yesterday's mock test. Who wrote the test? Okay, just you are allowed to answer. How did you find it? Trivial? Medium? Trivial means very easy. Medium? Hardish? Okay. I haven't opened it up to everybody. It's on here, but I first wanted to show you the marks. And if I open it up, then everybody can take the test. And I will do that today, but I lose the marks. And it's important for us to look at the marks because they are so spectacular. First question about the if, 44% got it right. That's quite impressive. It's almost a pass. Second if question, 82% got it right. 79, 66, 20, what? Oh, this number is really small. I can't even read it. You have to zoom in a little to see this number. 23% and 23 for the last question.
So we might not be that good.
Clearly not. Okay. But it's slightly unfair because the last question was really a trick question. You couldn't have known until I show you my little camera what it's all about.
So we look at next time because I don't know what it is.
I can hardly tell that. I mean, I can tell you what it is, what it's all about, but there's no guarantee that you will know it. I might tell you, and you might not be listening, or you might be, maybe you forget, maybe you're hit by a motor vehicle, and you have amnesia. So it's very difficult for me to say, Justin. But if you work hard and listen in class, then maybe. Look, this is a little unfair because these yellow bars are the real indicators. So the purple is just how many people passed it, how many people got it right. But the yellow bars are really what I look at because it tells me this is a good question to distinguish between the strong students in the class and the weaker students. So you can see that this very first question, even though, or take the second question, even though more than 80% got it right, that means it's actually a bad question for me because it doesn't allow me to tell the good students from the bad students. Or everybody got it right. And this question where almost nobody got it right, well, 23%, that's not nobody. This question where the 1% got it right, it didn't help much because it lumped almost everyone in one big group, the ones who didn't get it right, and just a few in one group who got it right. But this last question, which was the trick question, actually worked quite much better. So it clearly distinguished two groups, people who got it right and people who didn't. And they corresponded to people who did well in the other questions as well. It's way too difficult to understand all this stuff. But the bottom line is that I'll be asking more of these kinds of questions because they actually help me to distinguish, and not so many of these kind of questions. They're just too easy. When I set a test, I look at the outcomes and I say, what are the students supposed to know? And I base the questions on that. So you're supposed to know about arrays, I need to cover that. You're supposed to know about for loops, I cover that. While loops and all that. I also set 3 kinds of questions. Basically, 1/3 of the test is made so that everybody will pass it. Almost everyone. 1/3 of the test, I try to make it so that I think about half the class will get it. And 1/3 is made so that only a few will get it. So there are easy, medium, and hard questions. That's how I set a test in any case. Even if we didn't have all this feedback. So, let's just look at that question, that last one. And can I look at it? I'm a student. Back to the, oh, it's closed. That's why I can't see it. Fine. I'll just revert to my normal role. And still can't quite see it. Oh. Okay, right. So the last question asked, if you have these 2 arrays, A, which is an integer array, so a line of boxes containing 1, 2, and 3, and we call that A, so we can talk about A0 in square brackets, A0, A1, A2. And you have another array called B, also 3 boxes containing integers, containing 1, 2, and 3. So the question is, are these 2 arrays equal? I'd say yes, of course they are. In what way are they not? They're both integer arrays, they have the same size, and they have the same content. The only thing that really distinguishes them is their name. Do you agree? Josh? Nicole? Is that right? What? Oh. Alright. Let's go for the second row. Kevin. Kevin, Cullen, and... Oh. Okay, Matt. Matt, do you agree with this? But... Thanks. But if we have 2 integer variables called a and b, they both contain a 5, and I ask, is a equal to b? What would the answer be? True, yes, they're equal. So why not arrays? At the start of the course, I think, if I recall correctly, I told you that I was going to lie to you and I was going to break my promises, and I believe I've kept those promises by lying to you and not keeping my promises. But today, unfortunately, I have to tell the truth a little bit. Okay. For us to understand 2-dimensional arrays, if I can find them, we have to understand why. Hang on, just give me a second. This laptop is doing a lot now. For us to understand why this answer is false, B, we kind of have to understand how arrays work inside Java. I've kind of told you stuff, but I haven't told you the whole truth. That's why I need my little camera so I can draw pictures. The computer is working hard. It's running a lot of programs. It's only a small laptop. Okay. So let's see. I asked Java, a little elevation, and now I need a little light, but that should be fine. You'll be able to see. Focus my hands. Ah, beautiful, beautiful hands. Okay, right. So I tell Java, I want an int array, semicolon. Oh, that's horrible. Never mind. We tell Java we want an int array called A. What does Java do? It doesn't make the array. We've just told it we want an integer array. it's very different if we say Java, I want an integer variable called b. Java actually makes a box called b that I can put values in. If I don't put anything in the box, I have to treat it as undefined. It may be that there's a 0 in there if I'm lucky, but I can't be sure of that. But the box exists. But there are no boxes for A yet. And that is the lie. There is actually a box. When I do this, Java does make a box. One box. Called A. In preparation for storing the array. And when I tell Java, okay Java, A is equal to the new int array of size 3. At this point, Java will make the 3 boxes, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, and it'll put the address of these boxes in A. So Java does make a box, it's a 4th box, and that's actually the actual A. And when I say A0, I'm talking about that box. But when I say A, I'm kind of talking about that box. I can't do much with A. It's not an integer, so I can't add things to it. I can't, actually I can print it out on screen, but I don't want to do that. But one thing I can do with A is I can assign it to another array. So if I ask Java, okay Java, int C. Okay, that's C. I ask Java to say I tell Java C's new int 3. Java makes 3 boxes, 0, 1, 2. And C points to that. Just give me a second. My little camera has focus issues. Also, it's quite earthquake prone. So that is why when I made A and B, okay, new page. In teacher school, they tell you to always warn the students when you're making a new page, because if you just take the page away, the knowledge may disappear from the students' minds. In fact, they tell you to switch off the projector and then put on the new. Nobody does that. Okay, right. Ah! We all make mistakes. I just backspaced. Okay? That's the first thing I asked Java. So Java makes an A box. It points to a 0, a 1, a 2. One, two, three. That's B. This is the content of the boxes, of the arrays. It's not the indices. So A0 is 1, A1 is 2, A2 contains 3. Same for B. And that's why if I ask Java, is A equal to B? It doesn't say false because these boxes are different. I mean, I could have had just int A and just int B, both containing 5. A and B are different boxes. So it's not the fact that the different boxes that is bothering Java. This statement is false, this expression is false, because the value of A is this. I'll be completely honest. It's an address in memory. It's the address where the array is stored. So the fact is that this array 1, 2, 3 is stored in a different place than this array 1, 2, 3. And that's why Java says this is false. The contents of these two boxes, A and B, are not the same. But one thing I can do is I can assign arrays just as I can assign values. So on this side I can say A is equal to B. Well, it doesn't matter much because they're already equal. On this side I can say A is equal to B. What does Java do? It takes this expression, B, so that address, and it puts it in A. Now, A is no longer pointing to that array, no longer contains the address for that array. It is now equal to the address stored in B. So both A and B are now pointing, are now references to the same array. And if I ask Java now, that's false. If I ask Java, is A, well, no, sorry, I get choked up about this. This is really emotional stuff for me. If I ask Java now, is A equal to B, then Java will say true. What if I want to now change A? I want to replace this last 3 here by 5. And I try to say A2 because that's the index, 0, 1, 2. A2 is 5. What does Java do? It looks at where A is pointing, so it's pointing down here, and it puts a 5 in the second slot. 0th, 1th, 2th becomes 5. And if I say system dot out dot println B2, what will be displayed on the screen? Don't say if you know. Only say the wrong answer if you don't know.
27.
Don't say the wrong answer if you do know either. It's, oh, man. Okay. Look, come on, little camera. Okay, 5. Okay, look. Kevin, are you okay with this? Calvin? Calvin? Are you Irish? Where's the Norwegian? Come on. Oh no, don't tell me I've lost the Norwegian. Oh, that's sad. I hope it wasn't just like a visitor. Look, he seemed quite honest. Callum, you'll have to do. Is that okay for you? And that? Fine. Okay, right. Excellent. This doesn't really affect us except to the degree that your array assignment is a little odd. But it's absolutely critical for us to understand two-dimensional arrays in Java. What is a two-dimensional array? Well, you all know because you've read the chapter, but I will just draw a little picture. I want to make an array, and let's say...
You didn't say the answer on the display flag?
Yes, I did. I communicated it in text form. Yes, I wrote the 5. You have to pay attention to all this. You have to be quick. Just because I'm insulting Kevin, Callum, and Matt doesn't. I had a meeting of the class representatives yesterday, and they were very friendly and all that. But they did point out I shouldn't pick on students too much. Okay? Yes, you would, but no, you wouldn't. I'm just kidding. I can't stop myself. It's a compulsive habit. Okay, let's go. Two-dimensional arrays. I'm now going to make an array, not of ints, but of int arrays. So I want an int array. This is an array of this stuff, and this stuff is already an array of int. What is Z? What is the contents of Z? Z, sorry. Sorry, I apologize. Some people do call it Z. I know, but still they're people. Well, many of them are people. Okay. Z is one box, but it's empty. So no value Z. Z. I mean, no value yet. Right. I want to put a value inside Z. What do I do? Well, before I could write, I can't even write the letter. Z is a new. Well, if this were an int array, I'd say I want 3 ints in an array. But this won't work because Z is an array of int, and this is simply an array of int. I can't say I want an array of this stuff and then make an array of int and pretend that an int is the same as this stuff. This is an int array. This is only an int. So I have to do something like this. And what is Java going to do? It's going to say, okay, right, now we're talking. You want 3 boxes, indexes 0, 1, and 2, and each of them will contain one of these, and Z will point to that array. Are you okay, Matt? What are you doing? Oh, copy down. Oh, I thought it looked like you were doing counting, like adding up numbers. Oh, no, carry on, copy down. By every word. Okay, right. What's inside these boxes? Well, int arrays. But what is an int array? It's nothing really until I give it a value. So at the moment I have 3 unknowns inside these boxes. And now I can say, well, Z0, put in there a new int array of size 4. Okay, Java knows how to do this. It makes 4 boxes. 0, 1, 3. They all contain ints because it's an array of ints. And I put this inside Z0. Everybody's okay with this? Okay? One further step. Z0, well, it's that thing, and it's an array. Its second element must be 9. So Z0, second element, well, 0th, 1th, 2th element becomes a 9. I know what you're thinking. This stuff is excellent fodder for the exam tests. I agree. The test will be all about this kind of stuff. I mean Java kind of stuff, yes. Say again?
Can we do parallel to the array?
Parallel.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Okay, I'll do a parallel to the array. It's one thing at a time. I've only got 2 hands. Okay. How big do you want the parallel array? 5, you say? Okay, excellent. 5. This is Z1. So this will be going there. 0th up to 4th. Okay, and one more. Well, I only have one more. Z2. Okay. Right. Three questions. Okay, first question. Question number K. K for Kevin. Kevin? Work? Error? Will it compile? I think you should give me the answer. Can you see? Maybe you can't see. Yes, that's your problem. Well, I can bring it to you. Say again? The walnuts. What? Kevin, compile or not? Why not? Okay, fine. Anybody else's name starts with a K?
I thought the C, is that close enough?
No. Let's find someone else. No. No. I want someone from the third row or further back. I want Yona. What's your name again, Yona? You. White t-shirt. Shane, I have asked you, I know. It's still Shane, yes? Okay. Shane, compile or not? Compile or not? Kevin didn't pass the course. He failed, he flunked out. He just gave up. Shane? Why not? Okay, Shane, you may have to join Kevin in at McDonald's. It's not comparing anything. This is an assignment. Maybe it's my fault. I didn't write this clear enough. This is a single equal sign. Come on, Shane. Work or not work? Compile or not compile? Okay. What will happen if it executes? No, Shane. That's not what I want to hear. I want to hear the words. It'll put the contents of Z1 in Z0. Yeah, but use different words. So Z1 is this array, it'll put this address in Z0. So if we were to execute this, Z0 would no longer be pointing there. Better get this down, Matt. It'll be pointing here. Happy, Shane? Okay. Who's your... oh, hang on. Question. Yes.
So then, does it then erase the previous array?
Say again?
Does it then erase the previous
Does it then erase the previous array? No. We'll get to that in a sec. Okay. Who's next to you? Alex. Oh, beautiful speaking voice, Alex. Question number for Callum, but Callum is busy at the moment. Alex, cool. Alex, work or not work? Compile or not compile? I mean, obviously it won't compile because I wrote sys.println, but I meant system.out.println.
That will compile.
I agree. What will it do? Yes, I know you know.
Print the first element of
That is beautiful. I could almost not have put it better myself. It'll print that.
yeah.
I should have put something in there so you can say an answer, but I only thought of that while I was writing the question. Okay. Excellent. I'll get you in a sec. Next.
Lemuel.
Next. Lemuel. Like the angel? Okay, so your name is sort of like the angel's name, but it's not. Is there an angel called Lemuel? Isn't he one of the demons? You guys are so young, you know nothing. Do you know who Terry Pratchett is? Okay, do you know this TV show American Gods? Who wrote that book? What? Neil Gaiman, yes. But he co-wrote a book of Terry Pratchett. I can't recall the name. So tell me again. Okay, well, someone will Google it. Good. Is it called? No. Good Omens is definitely one of the Discworld. No. Is that about the Antichrist? Oh yeah, one of the characters I think is called whatever you're called. Okay, right, Lenny. Question 3. I'm just kidding. It's a beautiful name. Just tell me the answer. Compile or not compile? Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's an assignment, yes. And will it work? What will it do? So it's very difficult for you to tell me the answer, isn't it? Yeah, but that's not clear enough for me to know that you know the answer. But you said it so confidently. I'm going to assume that you meant it'll put whatever is here, right? No, other way around. B will go into A's place, so this becomes a B. Z101 becomes Z0, but it's now pointing here, 0. So that becomes a B. Okay. Couple of things before we start. Firstly, you asked what happens to this array, or equivalently to A, when we do this assignment. We can no longer reach A. We don't have an array that is pointing to this original A after we make this assignment, after we make A point to B. And it's the same situation on the other picture. And the answer is that we can no longer access this. We can never again look inside this array. We can never again change the contents of that array. We can't assign it to anything else. It's lost. Java has a special name for this. It's called garbage. Because it's just lying around in memory, filling up the memory, unusable. Yes.
Any way of clearing garbage like this with code, just losing
Who knows? It's still one of the things that scientists are investigating. I'm lying. Craig, yes?
But I said there probably is some way to clear that up, either through code management or some kind of way. Because I mean, when you use really big programs, you get like lots of worrying about how much space you're using up in the RAM.
You just buy more memory. What was the first programming language? How many programming languages are there? You're just learning the one. Barely even that. 23% passers. How many programming languages? Around 8,000. Yeah, but we're only learning the one.
You know them all.
I know of them all. I know their numbers. It's number 1, 2, 3. Some of the earliest programming languages were really very modern in the way they talked about things. And one of the very first ones was called, or is called, Lisp. Long before other programming languages used this kind of garbage idea, Lisp had it. It was all about manipulating things like arrays. And it produced a lot of garbage. And so in the 50s, they looked at this and they invented techniques for getting rid of the garbage. And we call that garbage collection. I know, it's funny when you hear it the first time, but it's a real thing. Loads of PhDs, doctoral degrees are written studying this. So there are many ways of doing garbage collection. Java has its own way. You can invoke it, you can cause it to happen, but you don't have to. It just happens in the background all the time. Whenever you leave unattended boxes like this, at some future point Java will come and collect those boxes and reuse the memory for something else. For a future integer variable you declare, or in any kind of variable that you're declaring. So that's garbage collection. Those things are just cleared away by themselves. You don't have to worry about it, even if you write a big program. The other thing I have to mention, even though you've read it, I just want to mention it so I can go to the rector and say I can get my salary this month, is that we don't usually do this. This is crazy stuff. We don't make arrays like this. They're kind of two-dimensional, but they're all wonky. And we usually don't do two-dimensional arrays like this. Maybe I'll talk about this again on Monday. What we do is we want nice and neat two-dimensional arrays that look like that. We can't do that directly. But what we can do is we can say, I want an array. Let's say I want a load of ints. I want an array once again called Z. It's got entries like before, and each of them points to an equally sized little array of its own. And that's how I get a two-dimensional table like this. And Java has many ways of doing this, but the way we want to use is to say, after we've declared Z, we want it to be, in this case, 4 by 4. Let's make it 5. Let's make it 5 and 4. So that'll be 5. That'll be 4. And now, I don't have to worry about accessing an illegal element. I can just say Z2, 1, 7. So this will be row 2, 0, 1, 2, element 1, 0, 1. That'll be a 7. And this is exactly what you need for your project. When you store that checkers board, you're going to use a two-dimensional arrow like this. And it can be integers, and there can be a 0 to mean it's empty, or there can be a 1 inside to mean a black marker, or you can put a 2 to mean a white marker. But we'll want to set up arrows like this. There's more stuff, but let me just quickly summarize. Afrikaans. Tweedimensionele skikkings. Dit is 'n klein bietjie moeiliker as wat mense dink, want jy moet hierdie idee verstaan dat 'n skikking is ook 'n boks. Soos ander bokse, ander veranderlik is. Dis so 'n boks wat wys na die res van die skikking. En as ons net sê int hakkie A, dan bestaan daardie boks reeds. Die skikking self bestaan nie, maar die boks bestaan. Wanneer ons dit sê, dan skep Java vir ons die skikking en hy sit die adres van die skikking in A. En as ek nou praat van A0, dan is dit hierdie skikking se nulde element. Voor ek dit gesê het, voor hierdie stelling, kan ek nie praat van A0 nie. Ek kan skikkings aan mekaar toeken, maar ek kan niks eintlik anders met hulle doen op hierdie stadium nie. Jy kan nie by mekaar tel nie, jy kan nie aftrek nie, kan nie regtig vertoon nie. Ek kan skikkings vergelyk. So ek kan vra, is A gelyk aan B? Dit kan waar of vals wees. Maar dit is net waar as dit regtig fisies dieselfde adres is, dieselfde skikking. As dit net identiese skikkings is, maar op aparte plekke in die geheue gestoor, gaan Java sê hierdie twee skikkings is nie gelyk nie. So as A hierbo sit en B sit hieronder, dan is A gelyk aan B vals. Want hulle wys na verskillende skikkings. Hierdie adresse is verskillend. As jy dit verstaan, is dit 'n klein bietjie makliker, wel, baie makliker, om tweedimensionele skikkings te verstaan. En hier het ons 'n klomp toegeken wat verskillende groottes het. So Z het 3 rye, maar elkeen was 'n verskillende grootte. Die eerste ene was 3 groot, toe het ek 4 groot, nee, eerste een was 4 groot, toe 5 en toe 2900 en iets. Maar ons wil nie gewoonlik sulke skikkings hê nie, gewoonlik wil ons vierkantige skikkings of reghoekige skikkings hê. En Java het notasie om hulle te verklaar op een slag. Java het ook notasie om waar is in hulle te sit, maar ek sal vir julle maandag daarvan vertel. Ek weet julle weet dit reeds, julle het gelees en alles. Ek sal vandag, nie daar nie, ek nog so 'n paar eerste klas gee oor, maar ek sal vandag die toets oopmaak, sodat almal die toets kan skryf. Dinsdag gaan daar nog 'n wat is mock test in Afrikaans? Marco, do you speak any Afrikaans? Who is bilingual? What's mock test in Afrikaans? I'm bilingual. I don't know all the words. I know some. Ek weet wat dit is, maar okay. So as ek dit in die verlede vertaal het, ek gepraat van 'n kamma toets. Maar geen Engelssprekende gaan dit verstaan nie. Dis okay, ek praat Afrikaans. So daar is Dinsdag nog 'n kamma toets. There'll be another mock test on Tuesday. Yes, but I love the word comma, and it's a beautiful word and it means the right thing, so I'm using it. Yeah. So comma toets Dinsdag, mock test on Tuesday, and everybody will be able to write that as well. Okay. Sporting. Sport. No, I know that's what mock means, but it's that means to make a mockery of something. It's not mock as in mock up a dummy. Different meaning of mock. Okay. It's not sport. So again, I'll see you again on Monday. Yes. No. Stop.